programming is brought to you by Local Video Marketing in association with CoachChick.com.
Do you ever get stumped when you're trying to figure out what to give your skater in that 15 to 30 minute window before puck drop? So you want to think pure carbohydrates in this window. Something like a go-go squeeze tube or a half a cup of applesauce, 2 rice cakes, or 7 to 10 mini pretzel twists. So what's the best amount? 1 go-go squeeze tube, 2 rice cakes, or like I just said, 7 to 10 mini pretzel twists. Those are a favorite of many of my hockey skaters. This is Kim Lukhard, Hockey Mom RD. Happy skating.
Make no mistake about it, our sport is all about motion. And I found that I can unbelievably improve a player's skating, their rhythm, their power, and their efficiency with these exclusive off-ice methods. I can also help older players with their explosive strength, toughness, and conditioning.
Good morning, guys. I got your workout for you today. Now, a lot of you tell me when I do these workouts, Dave, you're going a little too fast. I need a better explanation. So today's workout is going to be a little longer video, but I'm going to actually take you through each exercise. Now, a couple things you want to have before you get rolling. You got to have your band set up. You're going to see I've got multiple bands set up here, and this makes it nice because I can go ahead and really just knock out the workout. I don't have to worry about changing up equipment, resetting bands and all that. So go ahead, get yourself a setup. Make sure you also got a band utility strap. So if you don't have the bar, now you can go ahead and just hook the band utility strap in your door, and you can hook more bands onto this. As long as you're only pulling on one series of them, you're gonna do just fine. So you can have multiple bands hooked onto your band utility strap. Also make sure you got a pair of training handles, guys. Training handles are huge because you know what? They allow your shoulders to stabilize better, they're more comfortable, and it just makes working out a lot more effective. So make sure you got a pair of those. If you got that all set up, let's go ahead and let's knock out your workout today. First press exercise is gonna be a chest press. We're gonna hit your total body today. We're gonna go ahead and take you through everything. So the first exercise up is a chest press. We're gonna do it a little differently though. We're gonna drop down so we can really isolate our chest, and we're gonna do a kneeling chest press. Now, if you want to go ahead and change it up midstream, just come on up, set it down, and go again. You're going to have 60 seconds to go ahead and push this exercise, so make sure. Now, if your bands are rubbing on your arms, it's because you don't have your contact point low enough. Put it down lower so the band doesn't rub on your arms. Hey guys, from there, we're going to go into an exercise I don't do very often, elevated rows, okay? We've got the purple band set way up high. We're going to drop down into seated position, and we're going to do elevated rows and really work it, squeezing our back. Notice I got my hands through the bands, so it's on my wrist, so I can really emphasize pulling with my back. From there, we're going to go into reverse lunges. We've got our black band right here. We're going to step into it. We're going to hook it on our hips. And we're going to go reverse lunges. So here's what we got. Hands up. We're going back. Drive off that leg. Reverse it to the other side. So you're reverse lunging. Keep your heel on the ground. Drive. And then make sure that back toe is not getting a lot of force on it. Keep the pressure on your front leg by leaning forward a little bit and then driving off that leg, getting back down and going there. So now we're going to keep moving now. You're going to have 30 seconds in between each exercise. So it's not a big rush, all right? It's not a big rush, but if you're tired, it's going to be hard. We're going pillar presses right, pillar presses left. Now, this exercise is going to get your trunk and your shoulder at the same time. That's how I'm saving time for busy guys, so you get more done in a shorter period of time. Pillar presses, all right? So you're really locking out those pillar presses and driving it overhead. Once you get those done, all you do, you got 30 seconds, switch to this side. You're going right here, up, pillar press again. 60 seconds. So you're holding a pillar while you're pressing. Not only is this exercise going to be more comfortable on your shoulder, but you're going to be engaging your trunk the whole time. So it's a 2-for-1 deal. From there, we're going to get into curls and hit our arms. So we're out here. All right, a lot of ways you can do curls. I'm going to go ahead and get down here and drop my knee down. And I'm going to go ahead, put my other leg back, and I'm going to go hip extension curls. So I've got to really get my hips involved, squeezing it out. So I'm going to extend my hips back here and come on through. Same thing. Now, as soon as I'm done with those, I'm going to move back a little bit, and I'm going to go bilateral kneeling, overhead presses. Now, what this is going to do is allow me to dig my toes in better, but I'm really going to have to engage my trunk. I don't want any heavy arching through your low back. Keep your trunk tight and keep pressing out. All right, get those tricep overhead presses. From there, we're going to finish up with a little bit of heart rate racer. We're going to go ahead and go in. We're going to put our hips band in here. Use one band because you're only going to push it out a little bit, all right? Don't overstretch this band. And now you're going to go ahead and you're going to go skaters for 1 minute. Yeah, your hips are going to feel it. Not only is you're going to get your heart rate up, but you're going to get the frontal plane involved. You're going to get your hips involved. It's got great finishing exercise for this workout. There you go, guys. There is a great workout that you can put in quickly. All you need is a place to attach your bands, and you're good to go. Guys, Dave Schmitz, resistancebandtraining.com. Make sure you check out my site. Make sure you check out my Instagram account. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel and check in our Facebook group, which is The Band Gym. All right, The Band Gym on Facebook. Join us. I'd really appreciate it. I'd love to see you there. We share a lot of information there. Guys, enjoy your workout.
Welcome back to the Mind Gym. Get ready to train your brain. Let's go. My name is Shawnee Harlee, and I'm a 2-time Olympian as an assistant coach with Canada Basketball. Bam! I'm also a mental fitness coach, and I help people train their brain. I help athletes cut through all the confusion and all the noise that's going on in their head. I help them show up as their greatest self on the biggest day, the biggest stage of their life. And because it takes a village, I also work with their parents and coaches. Let's solve this problem of lack of creativity. They're creative in practices, but in games, why do they play like a robot? How can they keep doing the same things they're already good at? Why is there no creativity when it matters most? Let's solve this problem. Well, if you've watched any of my other tips, you know I love to look underneath. So what in the heck is driving this behavior? What's causing this lack of creativity? Well, I think it's a fear. What fear might be holding them back? I'll tell you one of the biggest fears of all athletes that I work with. It's called FOPO. What does that stand for? Kind of like FOMO, but not. It's fear of other people's opinions. Whose opinion are they afraid of? Coaches and parents and their teammates. Definitely the opponents. Oh, and the parents of the opponents as well. Social media is a huge one. Basically, everyone's opinion is making them afraid. Want to know why FOPO kills our creativity? Because we are a prisoner. To solve this problem of lack of creativity, let's try this analogy. Let's think of opinions like a big pile of rope. When we have this pile of rope, one of two things is going to happen. We're either going to give the rope away or we're going to take it. What I teach athletes is this: take your share of the dang rope. Have an opinion. Just because people have an opinion about you, how do you know if it's true if you throw them the entire rope and take none for yourself? Part of having an opinion is the ability to self-reflect. Look in the mirror and see what you see, and then have a voice. A voice means, what do I think? Do I agree? Do I disagree? If I agree, why? If I disagree, why? In other words, we pull back the rope by asking, what do I think? If you think this is easy, managing FOPO, it isn't. We need courage. This is hard. We need courage to manage people's judgment because it's the only way we can grow. Remember, without fear, there can be no courage. And we can use that courage to help us manage the fear of people's opinions. 3 solutions to lack of creativity in games. Number 1, stop being a prisoner. Let yourself out of jail. Pull back the rope big time. Then choose courage to manage these fears. Courage is a choice, and decisions decide destiny. Hey, I've got some great stuff with mental toughness tips on my website. Here's where you can find me. I'm also on social media.
Does this pose look familiar? It should, because Coach Chic sees it far too often all over social media. Here's the problem, however. Hockey coaches, parents and players tend to trust their eyes too much. And they especially trust their eyes if they believe advanced level players do everything right every moment they're on the ice. Now, this happens to be one of the all-time great players making a sharp cut. Is it right? Or is it wrong? If you ask the old coach, anything is okay, so long as a player is away from traffic. Make a figure skating move, if you'd like. Actually, as long as a player can keep going, any move is probably alright. One has to wonder though, if that same posture would be as wise, if this guy has to tussle with a defender, while in that pose. Or this player. As it so happens, this photo was taken from a video, so it's known that the puck carrier fell moments later. Now, how about this player? It's pretty obvious that the puck carrier is being held up by the defender. So what happens if that defender backs off even a bit? So, how could we make these players stronger? The answer is to put the inside leg under the skater. He loses no strength at all, and no speed while gaining a great deal of stability. Now, here's an old Coach Chic student working on his Boston turns. During each cut, a nearby coach is reminding the student to keep his inside leg under his body for support. The lesson here, perhaps: don't totally trust the naked eye. Or, don't necessarily trust that every pro player movement is right all the time.
skating instructional programs will teach a ready position from a stationary position, that is to say, with the heels together. They call it the V position. So let's think about this for a sec. Let's pretend we're in a face-off in the offensive zone, and we are in that V position here. Well, it's a really inefficient and really, it just doesn't make any sense, because if we are accelerating to get the puck, let's say the puck is right here, and we're accelerating to get the puck. Let's say the face-off, I'm a left winger. Well, it's going to, from this position, this is an inefficient position, because it's hard to accelerate from this position. It's hard to get your skates moving that fast to get the puck. So that's number one. Secondly, if you're in this position where you're really off balance, it's actually really silly. Because if you're in this position, you don't have a good balance position. So if you're struggling for puck position, which is a characteristic of skating, the right winger on this side or the defenseman on this side is going to be able to knock you over. So that's number two. Number three is that if you have to go backwards from this position, how are you going to do a C-cut? How are you going to do a cross-under? You're going to have to go from here and then to here. So it's going to take you quarter second, half a second to get from this position. Now, the interesting thing about this is that if you watch NHL, high-level females, all the way down to little kids, when they come to a face-off, they're coming to the face-off and they're standing like this. You will never, ever see a hockey player stand like this. So this is a really silly position to teach players to start in. We need to teach the players to be in a good ready position, a good stationary ready position, where they've got good balance, where they can accelerate to go forward, where they can accelerate to go backwards with a C-cut, or with a cross under immediately, or if the puck comes over here, then they're ready for body contact right here with a wide position. So we've got to try.
This has been a local video marketing production. We hope you've enjoyed this, and that you've picked up a number of great hockey tips. Please do tell some friends about these shows, and let the contributing coaches know how much you appreciate them.